All right, can everybody see the screen okay? All right, well, we have been practicing our arrays. So after today, we want to be able to make our arrays with equal rows and columns and write our equations for it. So what we're going to work on today is actually drawing those arrays. So make sure you have your scrap piece of paper and your pencil ready. And we're going to draw our arrays today and write our equations. Yesterday, they gave you the pictures of the arrays already made. Today, we're going to be the array maker, okay? So here we go. So remember, here's our vocab from yesterday that we need to remember. A row is in our array, and we talked about it looks like the airplane wings stretched out. Left to right makes our row, and our columns are from top to bottom. So they're standing tall, just like they hold up the building. So our row goes this way, our columns though go this way, okay? So do we remember that from yesterday, I hope? And when we put them all together, we built our array, and this is where our word is, A-R-R-A-Y. That's a math word you're gonna see a lot on your assignment, okay? So what we're going to do is look at a couple practice problems. We're going to draw our arrays together because you do have an assignment today in Schoology. So here's our problem, and I know that may be kind of hard to see, so I'm going to read it to you. Here's what it says. Rusty places his toy trucks in 4 columns. He places 3 trucks in each column. How many trucks does Rusty have in all? So here's what I want you to do. Remember, it told a column goes this way, right? So go ahead and grab your piece of paper, and we're going to take our columns, and because it told me that he had 4 columns, I'm just going to draw 4 lines up and down. So make sure you have your 4 columns on your paper. Okay? So we've got our 4 columns. That's what our first part of our problem told us. Now it says he has 3 trucks in each column. 3 trucks in each column. Now I'm not very good at drawing trucks, and it would take me all day to draw 3 trucks in this column. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw circles. You can draw boxes, okay? So we need 3 in each column. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So now I've made my array. Okay? So I did 4 columns. And in each column, I drew 3 trucks. My trucks don't look like trucks.
Miss Hunter, I hate to bother you, but how you get just you on the screen and not you and all the kids?
If you hover over my picture, there is a button all the way to the left that looks like a push pin.
Yes.
And it will pin me to the screen, so my picture will be big.
All right, I think you got bigger, so.
Awesome.
And you're not the whole screen. Could that be because he turned on the closed captioning?
Probably.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Okay, well then.
All right. So if you need to pin me to your screen, you can do that too, okay? So if you hover over my picture, that should look like a little push pin all the way to the left. Okay, so we have our array. Now we've got to answer our question. So it wants to know how many trucks does Rusty have in all? So it gave me my columns. So I'm going to write an equation for my columns. Okay, so look at this first column. How many trucks are in that first column? 3, right? So I'm going to say my equation is 3 plus, how many trucks are in my second column? We have 3 trucks in that second column. And then look at my third column. I have 3 trucks in my third column. And then I look at my fourth column and I have 3 trucks in my fourth column. So I have 3 again. So I have 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, that's my equation. So now I've got to find my answer. Remember we talked about yesterday, if you don't know how to add 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, you can always count the number in your array. Or you can also look, 3 plus 3 is 6, which means 3 plus 3 is 6, which means 6 plus 6 makes 12. So Rusty has 12 trucks in all. So we have drawn our array, written our equation, and found the solution to our problem. Okay? If you guys have questions, you're welcome to unmute your mic and ask if you need something, okay? All right, let's look at another one. Uh-oh. My eraser's not working. There it goes. All right. Let's look at another problem here. This one says, Sarah bakes loaves of bread. She places them in 3 rows with 5 loaves in each row. How many loaves of bread does Sarah have in all? So this one went to rows. So I'm going to have to draw my rows this time, right? So it says she places them in 3 rows. So let's draw our 3 rows. I'm just going to draw my 3 lines. To help me remember, I need 3 rows. Remember, rows go left and right. Okay, and it says 5 loaves in each row. Again, I'm not going to be a bread drawer here, so I'm going to either use circles or squares. You can use whatever you want, but I need 5 in each row. So 5, uh-oh. Sorry, it didn't like my pen. Try that again. No, it's going to do it again on me. Technical difficulties, sorry. It says it's working. All right, so 5 in each row. So draw your 5 loaves in each row. Goodness gracious. If I start over. There we go. So there's 5 in the first row, 5 in my second row, 5 in the third row. Right? So now I'm going to write my equation that tells me how many are in each row, and then I can answer the question, how many loaves of bread does she have in all? So if I look at row 1, how many loaves are there? There are 5, right? So row 1's got 5. So I have an equation of 5. Row 2 has 5. So plus 5. Row 3 has 5 plus 5. So because I had 3 rows, I only have 3 numbers up here. To remember, when we write our equation for an array, it has to be the same number over and over again. So if you write like 5 plus 5 plus 3, you don't have an equation for an array, okay? So it has to be the same number over and over again to be our array. So 5 plus 5 plus 5, we know how to count by 5s, right? Good practice for us. 5, 10, 15. So there are 15 loaves of bread in her array. Remember, you can always check your answer by counting up your loaves here, and you should get 15. Okay? That's a good way to check your equation and your problem to make sure they match. All right, let's try number 4 that's on my page. Here, it says this. Kristen has 5 shelves in her bookcase. She puts 4 books on each shelf. How many books does Kristen have in all? So this one I've got to do some thinking on a little bit because it didn't tell me rows or columns. So let's think. A bookshelf. Show me with your arms. Which way does a bookshelf go? Which way does the bookshelf go? Your shelf. Think about the bookcase. Your bookshelf. Your bookshelf goes this way, doesn't it? All the books set on your bookshelf. So that means I'm going to put it in a row, okay? So I'm going to put this in rows. So let's reread it and think about that. Kristen has 5 shelves in her bookcase. So I'm going to need 5 shelves. So draw your 5 shelves on your paper. Draw your 5 shelves because we need 5 of them. It says 5 shelves, which actually means I got 5 rows because my books have to sit like this. I can't put my books on something like this. They'd slide right off. Okay, so we're putting them on our shelves. They go this way in our bookcase. All right, it says she puts 4 books on each shelf. So you're going to draw your 4 books on each shelf to make your array. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on the first shelf, and then keep drawing on all of your shelves. 4 books on each shelf. Woo, she has a lot of books. Remember, your drawings don't have to be perfect. We're not in art class. I won't tell Miss Wagner if your book's corners aren't square and they're rounded. That just means they're a well-loved book, right? You dropped it a lot. All right, so once your array is done, you're ready to write your equation. So remember, we did rows, so we're going to count how many's in each row and write our equation for that, okay? So look at the first row. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 books. So my equation's going to say 4. Uh-oh, it's going to flip my screen. There we go. I'll write it over here. So my equation's going to say 4. Now my second row, my equation's going to say 4 again. Now I keep going down my rows. I've got a third row. So it's going to say plus 4 again. I've got a fourth row. So we're going to have a plus 4 again. And then I'm going to have a fifth row. So I'm going to say plus 4 again. Now remember, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves. That means I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers over there. And in this case, all my numbers are the number 4. To be an equation for an array, we have to use the same number over and over again. Okay, we can't use 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 5. We wouldn't have made an array. Okay, so now we've got some adding to do. And again, if you don't know the answer to 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, look for your doubles facts and add them up, or you can always count them up. Okay, once you have your picture. So if you take a look, 4 plus 4 is 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. And 8 plus 8 is 16, our doubles fact. And then we just have to count on 4 more. So 17, 18, 19, 20. So the answer to my question is she has 20 books in all. So we have drawn the array, we have written the equation, and we have solved our problem. Okay? All right, let's look at another one. Now my screen doesn't want to turn. Okay. Are you getting good at drawing arrays? I hope so. Let's see what this one says. It says Malcolm put his marbles into 2 columns. He put 2 marbles in each column. How many marbles does Malcolm have at all? All right, so I'm going to think. Malcolm puts his marbles into 2 columns. Show me with your hands which way do columns go again. That's right, straight up and down. So I need 2 of them. So on your paper, draw me 2 columns. Hopefully your paper's not moving like mine is. There we go. Now it says he put 2 marbles in each column. That means this column gets 2 marbles. This column gets 2 marbles. Can you add your 2 marbles to your columns, please? And now we're ready for our equation. So if we take a look, we've done our columns, right? So look at our first column. How many marbles are there? 2, right? So my equation is going to say 2 plus, look at your second column. How many marbles are there? 2, right? So plus 2. And we should know this. What's 2 plus 2? 4. So I have drawn my array. I have written my equation. And I have my answer. There are 4 marbles in all. Okay? That one was a pretty easy array. It was a small one. All right, this next one is a little tricky. It wants us to think about something. It gives us the answer, and we've got to figure out part of the numbers, okay? So here's what it says. Find the missing number. Frank has 10 baseball cards. He places them into 2 equal rows. Show how many baseball cards are in each row. So how many rows did it say there were? 2, right? So I'm going to draw 2 rows because that's what my problem did tell me. And it says Frank has a total of 10 baseball cards in these 2 rows. Now remember, to make an array, the same number on the top row has to be the same on the bottom row. I can't have all 10 on this row and none down here, or some here and some there. My arrays have to be the exact same, okay? So I'm going to start drawing my baseball cards, and when I put one on the top row, I'm going to put one on the bottom row, okay? So this is cards 1 and 2. And then this will be cards 3 and 4. Gonna keep going till I get to that number 10. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Here we go. 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Right? Count how many's in your first row and show me with your hands the answer you got. How many did you get? How many's in your top row? How many? Count that top row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you hold up 5? There are 5 in that top row. So guess what my equation would be? My equation would say 5 plus 5 equals 10. We found our missing number. We knew that Frank had 10. So we split it into our 2 equal rows and drew our array. And now we have our equation, and we already knew our answer. Okay? All right, let's take a look at another array here. Oh, it went backwards on me. All right. There we go. Okay, here's what it says. It says Jenny has 5 rows on each page in her photo album. She puts 2 pictures in each row. How many pictures does she have on each page? All right, so let's take a look and think about it. Jenny has 5 rows. Show me with your arms which way a row goes again. A row goes this way. Right. And it says I need 5 of them. So can you draw your 5 rows? All right, now it says she puts 2 pictures on each row. So draw your 2 pictures on each row. Each row gets 2. 2 pictures on each row. Draw your 2 pictures on each of your 5 rows. All right, now we're ready to write our equation. Now this one had 5 rows, so that tells me I'm going to have 5 of the same number. Let's see what that number is. All right, row 1. How many pictures were there? Show me with your fingers. There were 2. So that's my number. Here we go. So we have 2 on the first row. Plus, here's my second row. I had 2 again. Remember, I have an array, so it's going to be the same number. My third row had 2. My fourth row had 2. And my fifth row has 2. I should have 5 number 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 rows of 2. And that's what my equation says. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals, ooh, we can do this if we count by 2s. This is good practice from our math meeting. Help me count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There are 10 pictures in that picture album. Very good. All right, why don't you give this next one a try? I'll read the problem. You see if you can draw your array on your own, and we'll see if we match, okay? All right, here we go. Nina has a bookcase with 4 shelves. Remember, we talked about shelves go this way. Draw your 4 shelves. Draw your 4 shelves. And it says she places 5 dolls on each shelf. You don't have to actually draw dolls. You can draw circles if you want, okay? She'll be there all day if you have to draw that many. So on each of her 4 shelves, put 5 dolls. And I'm going to work on my array, and we'll see if we match. Right, take a look at your array. Take a look at my array. What do you think? Do we match? Good. We have 4 shelves. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 dolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Now we're ready to make our equation. All right, here we go. Row 1. Show me with your fingers how many goes in row 1. 5. So we're going to say 5 dolls in row 1. Show me with your fingers how many goes in row 2. 5 again. Row 3 had how many? 5 again. We're making an array. It's got to be the same number. And the last row, row 4 had 5 again. All right, there's my equation. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Oh, good practice. Let's count by 5s. Help me out. 5, 10, 15, 20. Very good. Man, she sure has a lot of dolls. 20 dolls are on her bookcase. All right. Very good. All right, I want to practice this last problem. We're going to skip the higher order thinking for right now. And let's talk about this last problem, because this is a problem that you may see on like an assessment that we take. So I want to make sure we go over it. That's anytime you see on your math lessons this Indiana right here, that means it could be on a test that we take, okay? So it says Whitney has a muffin tin with 2 rows. So let's go ahead and draw our 2 rows. Draw your 2 rows there. And then the problem goes on to say each row has 4 muffins. So in each row, draw 4 muffins. And again, your muffins don't have to be perfect. They can be circles, they can be squares. But 2 rows of 4 muffins. Now it wants us to write an equation that shows how many muffins she has in all. So let's take a look. First row. How many's in our first row? 4. So let's put a 4. Plus, how many's in our second row?
4.
4. So what is 4 plus 4 then? We make 8, right? So we have 4 plus 4 equals 8. That means Wendy has 8 muffins in, or Whitney, sorry, has 8 muffins in all. All right? Okay, you guys are going to have a Schoology assignment. So if you'll hang on just a minute, I will get you started. I'm going to stop our recording for those folks at home, okay? All right.